Hi, everybody, and welcome to Tea Transitions podcast for women who've taken the leap to build life abroad.
Hi, I'm Farah Baker.
And I'm Rose Davenport, and we are your host.
The show is all about the real stuff, the highs, the lows, hey, what am I even doing here? Conversations and everything in between.
And for me, tea has always been that little pause in the chaos, a moment to breathe, a moment to reflect, and to feel grounded. That's the vibe you're bringing here, an honest conversation in a space that feels warm, safe, and real.
So, whether you're settling into a new country or figuring out your next chapter, we hope this feels like a cozy chat between friends who get it, who understands this.
That's right. So without further ado, let's pour a cup and get into it. So Farah, who we have today?
Today we have Shahida. She is based in Washington, D.C. She is
Welcome.
a mom and an artist. And Shahida's
Ooh.
been, I think, to a few places, or rather have stayed in a few countries. Am I right, Shahida?
Yeah, that's correct.
Well,
Okay.
welcome, Shahida. Glad to have
Oh,
you today.
well, thank you, Rose and Farah, for having
Yes.
me. I'm very excited to
Yay.
share. And you guys caught me at tea.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
So what's your favorite tea? Let's start there. What's your
Yeah,
favorite
so
tea?
my favorite tea, I would say, like off the top of my head, is Robosh, the Red Bush
Mm,
African tea.
yeah. Hmm.
And you can get it easily, and they usually like to mix it with vanilla, so it smells so good.
Oh.
And I think it's I like it because it's a good tea with or without milk. And generally I
Hmm.
like mine with non-dairy milk.
Yeah,
Hmm.
So yeah, that's my
excellent.
favorite tea.
Ah.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
tell us, how long have you been in the Washington area?
So we moved to I so my work primarily is in Washington DC, but we our residence is Northern Virginia.
Ah,
And we moved here in summer of 2019.
okay. And prior to that, are you a military spouse by any chance?
Yeah, I
Okay.
am a military spouse, and
Okay.
that's what brought me here to the
Okay.
DMV area.
All right. So prior to the DMV area, where were you living?
Uh, Prior to that, we were in Okinawa, Japan.
Mm.
Ah, okay. Was that your only posting? Okinawa, Japan?
Okinawa, Japan, and then before that it was Kansas, and then before that it was Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you came, and for everyone's information, Shahida is Singaporean, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
very,
Okay.
very Singapore lah.
Same, same.
Yeah.
Sama-sama.
So from Singapore, you went to Kuala Lumpur, then Kansas, and then eventually you settled here in
Hmm.
Northern Virginia. Okay.
Yes.
From your experience, how was it relocating from place to place like that? And you went with your children, with your husband, correct?
Hmm. Yeah. So I have no trouble with it because I think innately I'm pretty curious about others' culture, and I love traveling.
Mhm.
So the thought of moving does not is not scary to me. But
Mhm.
of course, it's chaotic, right? You need to
Yeah.
pack. You need to make sure you have stuff. When there is a military move, there's certain items that get shipped out first. So for a couple of weeks, we won't have a living room because our living furnitures are taken away from us, our bed. So we live on the, sleep on sleeping bag. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty rough. And I think this is something like civilian are not aware of. So,
Mhm,
Right.
but we manage, right? Because
mhm.
that's part of what we need to do.
Yeah.
How has living abroad changed the way how you see yourself?
It definitely taught me to be more adaptable,
Hmm.
um, and and learn to let go of things pretty fast. Because I think, like, coming from Singapore, where things are very systematic,
Hmm.
um, we things go so smoothly, so fast, and efficient, right?
Yeah.
And like certain countries are not as efficient, and you can get frustrated, but you learn to cope with it, and you learn to just let go. And that's
Be
something
flexible.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And adaptable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
the challenges, I'm sure, coming from Singapore to Malaysia is not much of a difference per se, because
Mm-hmm.
culturally and, I mean, same people. So you kind of like,
Same, same.
easy and culturally.
Yeah.
But once you get to Okinawa, Japan, I'm sure that is very different for you, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okinawa, Japan is definitely very different. And Okinawa themselves are not Japanese, right? They believe very strongly that, I mean, they are Okinawans.
Mm.
But Japanese on a whole are very different from other Asian, right?
Mm,
Very like in Malay, like very kecho kecho.
Mm.
Maybe Japanese are, I don't know, kecho is like very chatty, right?
mm,
Um, you learn specific etiquettes that
mhm.
they have within like social confine. So a lot of learning um experience
Curves.
for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, and when you got to the United States, Kansas is very different from Northern Virginia, for instance.
Mhm.
mm-hmm,
That's kind of like,
Mhm.
I like that
Mhm.
expression she has.
mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
tell us about your experience landing in Kansas, Dorothy.
Yes,
Yeah, so
Dorothy.
it was funny. When I first, so before I moved to Kansas, I was in Okinawa, right? So I flew back to Singapore to see family before I moved, and I meet up with few friends, and they said, "Oh, you moving to Kansas, ah? Can choose or not? Cannot go there or not? You know, you've been a landlocked country." I was like, I don't choose. I mean,
Yeah.
my husband is with the U.S. Army, so it's not a choice I can make. But
Yeah.
so that scares me a bit that people are like giving me that that advice. But once I'm there, we live in Lawrence, Kansas, instead of close to where his workplace is. And Lawrence, Kansas is a small university town. So there's a
Ah,
lot of events. I was living close to the art center.
That's
My
good.
house is just behind a CrossFit box, which is filled with mom with younger babies. And
Yeah.
Johan was young then.
mhm.
So yeah, it was different.
How then, good segue here, talking about being in a campus area, close to campus, right?
Mhm.
With a lot of diversity there too. How then were you able to integrate your culture with what you see in Kansas?
Mm. So I think being respectful is the most important thing in regards to approaching new culture, right?
Mm,
And I always like with certain things, I also tell people like, hey, I'm from Singapore and I might not be cognizant of certain ways of things being done here. Like uh, in Singapore, this is what I do. Like,
yeah,
what about here? Questioning how they would do things. And
yeah,
once you know that's how they do things, if it's something that is not against your value,
Mhm.
then and if it's a positive thing, I might adapt to it. But
Yeah,
it's something that is go against my value, then I'm like, okay, thank you
yeah,
for sharing. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And that's
That's a
how you
good way to
navigate
to
approach.
approach it,
Hmm.
honestly.
Yep.
Find out what it's all about, and then make a decision for yourself whether it's okay with you, whether it's something you would like to keep or move on from there.
Yeah.
Very, very good decision there.
Mhm.
Now, so you after a few years, how many years were you in Kansas?
Kansas was only for a year.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
you moved to Northern Virginia.
No,
So,
then I moved to from Kansas was to Okinawa.
Kansas, Okinawa, and then back to the US. Okay,
Yeah.
so are you permanently in the US now, or are you looking to
So
move again?
initially, when we moved here to Fort Belvoir, it was a posting that was supposed to be just 2 years, which
Mhm,
got reassigned and reassigned. So
mhm.
I think we're gonna be here for a bit. And
Uh-oh. I'm gonna
three
pause.
airports nearby. It's very green. It's
Mhm.
got good schools. My kids are pretty happy here.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that was going to be my next question actually. Through all the moves, how did your children adapt? Okay,
Mm.
you adapt very well. How did the kids do?
Yeah, I think. Kids adapt quicker. And unless I mean the older ones not so because they love the Okinawan school. They love the living by the beach. It's quieter. Um, I think over here it's bigger. Everything is bigger.
Mm,
The school is bigger. And the students are already set in their clique, right?
okay. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it was harder adapting, but they now, I've just spoken to two of my boys, like they love it here in America. One of them is in England and he loves it in England. And he's like,
Mhm.
no, I'm not going to America. Uh, so
Yeah.
yeah, they make their choices and yeah.
And
I
how old are
just
your kids? Sorry.
Yeah. So the one in England is 26. The one living here is 22. And the one in Singapore serving national service is
wow.
18. And then Johan is 9.
Wow.
Wow.
So your boys go through NS.
Yeah, so two of them.
Uh-huh.
One already did, and one is going through.
Mhm.
One didn't because he was born in UK.
Ah, I
Yeah.
see. Interesting. So why did your children, or rather, maybe it's their choice. Yeah, but to keep the Singapore citizenship, that's the reason why they are serving national service, correct?
Yeah, I mean my parents are there,
Mm,
my siblings are there. Singapore is not a horrible city to live in,
not at
right?
all.
So I said you want to keep your options open. I think after a certain period in your adult life, you can decide. Then it's up to you.
Mm,
But I think it's a good thing to be serving your country. You learn to be more disciplined. I mean, at some age, like you don't want to be taking you want to be mentored. You want to
mhm.
have that. It's have to be coming out from someone. And I think national service is a good thing to experience.
I'm so happy to hear you saying such positive thing about national service because I've heard otherwise from
Very rare.
some
Hmm.
very protective parents, and I think
Oh, I'm very protective. I mean, I am very protective. I was there when he moved in, and I spoke to his XO, like, hey, this is my son. I introduced, it's very, no, I don't feel like it's helicopter. I'm just want the supervisor to be aware that
Mm.
now I'm leaving my son. I know he's an adult, but he's my son here, and we are in, United States. So like, yeah.
Keep an eye on
So
him.
I
Wink,
am
wink.
protective, like
Yeah.
I know you.
I
no,
just
because
want to
I
let you all know
yeah,
a little bit because from my end, it's intermittent staticky, but so far it's okay. Just
it yeah
Okay.
FYI.
it's
It's
good for
normal?
me. It's
Okay,
good. It's good for
perfect.
you, Shahida.
My good is yeah, my
Okay,
son.
Yeah.
perfect. All right.
Okay.
You can carry
Now,
on.
um, subsequently, after you know, uh, anchoring yourself here for a number of years, now you are also an artist in your
Mhm.
own right, and you've held exhibitions, which unfortunately I never made it to. And each and every time something, either I'm away or
Yeah.
something has come up, or I'm working. And she's held exhibitions here in the Washington DC area. Am I right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
can you
have.
tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I always exhibited wherever I moved somewhere. So I've exhibited in Okinawa, Japan. I've exhibited in Kansas. So when I was here, I've got a chance to exhibit in the DC Arts Commission.
Mm.
That's the most recent one. And then I also exhibited a solo at the Workhouse in Lawton.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
close.
yeah, that's close by, which
Mm,
helps, when you're installing and whatever
mm,
to have the gallery nearby, it helps.
mm.
But I've also started Advocate, which is an art organization, an NGO that helps other artists to amplify their work and their stories.
So do you paint yourself?
Mhm.
What are your pieces like? Give a synopsis
So,
of your
yeah,
pieces.
I like to work on series. So one of the series that I did was a 261 portraits of
Mm.
the missing Uyghur people.
Mm,
Uyghur people living in the Xinjiang,
mhm.
and they are predominantly Muslims, and they are being basically that it is genocide that's happening there. But the
Yes.
Chinese are covering up as education
Mm.
center.
Mhm.
or it's a lot of going. And the reason why I did that was because when I was in Kansas, my neighbor, Gilna, she was a Uyghur, and she shared with me her story. And since this is teen transition, it's funny because she and her family doesn't didn't they were like friendly, but they don't talk. So I'm like, wow, very odd. Like,
Mm.
I don't know what to say. Like, you just look at us, but you don't talk. So it's like very strange. I find it difficult to
Mhm.
communicate. And she was working at the university. It's not like she cannot, communicate
Interact.
English,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But one day she came and she was crying. She said, "Hey, your husband is active duty army, and my family's like in trouble in China, and like I cannot communicate, blah blah blah." She was like in tears. So I
Mm.
said, "Okay, I try not to panic, but of course, like inside, oh shoot, so I make a cup of tea." Yeah.
Ah,
Oh.
She always saves the day. So I said, "Hey,
yes.
let's have a cup of tea." And then that's when she shared, and she's like, I don't think there's anything that my husband and I can do from here, but it sounds like you're settling down, and you going back is not going to help. I think, I
Mm.
feel, right? So I said, I think focus on your family. You got a good job at the university. Your kids is in a good school in Kansas. So I mean, we all we can do is pray that they are well. And yeah, I that's my recommendation. And apparently, like, what happens next was, I quickly, we PCS, we moved to Japan. So what she did was, her husband went back,
Mm.
and she now is a professor in Harvard. She moved, and husband came back. And when she said there was a big conference at GWU, she said, "Hey, Shahida, can you help out? Do some artwork to amplify this our plight." So that's when I did the 216.
Nice.
Uh,
Mm.
Very
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I like how you actually pour yourself a cup of tea to have that heart-to-heart conversation. That's the untold stories. You can only hear that when you have a moment and open up to have a good conversation like that. It's very meaningful, and it also allow you to learn something about that individual and also to be aware of
Hmm.
the situation instead of brushing it off or judging, right? Because we live in a world today where everybody judges, where everybody just assume.
Hmm.
Coming back to T transitions, like you say, this is what our goal is for women to share their experience, good, bad, or ugly. And I like that you yourself have instilled that attitude and
Hmm.
behavior and practice doing it yourself. Perfect.
This is precisely what this whole podcast is
Correct.
about, actually reaching out, like you say, over a cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
comes, it
Mm-hmm.
comes, it's welcoming, and that is when people open up to you. And that is precisely our point, because there are stories out there
Yeah.
that we
Yep.
would like for people to share. And
Hmm.
in your case, your transition have been quite uh,
Seamless.
seamless. Yes, that's the word. Quite seamless. But
Mm-hmm.
you came across someone who needed a little help. Without you realizing, you offered her a cup of tea, and it opened up a channel, an avenue for you and for her, you know,
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
help. And I think for both of us, especially Rosie and I, we're always looking at ways to help
Yeah.
our own community or someone else in whatever shape or form that may be. So kudos to you. One fine day we'll see her work, Rosie, when she
Yeah.
when she has an exhibition again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The next time. But in the meantime, you can check out my website.
Ah, cool.
It's not updated as frequently as I should, but it has the different other series. So I like to work on series, and
Cool.
and you can see that. Yeah.
And here at T Transitions, we also like to share with the community and also our listeners out there, if you are an author, if you have product that you are pushing it through Amazon, or in your case, you have
You
a
are.
website for people to look at your pieces of your work. If you don't mind, maybe you can share that with us. I'll share it and put it in the link below, so that our listeners can take a look at it and
Hmm.
get in touch with you directly if there's any interest there or if they have any question.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Um, with all of these journeys that you've had with your family, is there any rituals or practices that help you individually, help you feel grounded in some of these unfamiliar places? For example, Kansas City, before I came to Virginia, I used to travel a lot in the West Coast during my
Mm-hmm.
travel days and work days. Kansas City is within the Tornado Alley path. You know, did you kind of have that in mind? Oh crap, I'm going to be living in a tornado alley. Did it ever come to your mind?
I was looking forward to it. I keep asking my husband, like, where is this tornado? Like, let me experience. Like,
See?
yeah, we do, but you should be thankful that we don't have one coming our
Yeah.
way.
There you go.
But in Okinawa, we got hit by a typhoon. I had 5 days where there is no electricity and
Mm,
water.
Mm.
So, I had to take the kids to a Red Cross unit in on an Air
shelter.
Force base,
Yeah.
because I thought it will come back. The electricity will come back on on the second day.
Right.
By the time it's the fifth day, like I cannot manage this on my own. My husband wasn't around because he was TDY
Mm.
somewhere.
Mm.
Um,
So going
so
back to my question, was there any practices or rituals that
yeah,
make you feel grounded?
my to go is definitely a good exercise. So
Mm,
I do CrossFit. I also like dancing.
hmm
So before I move, I usually try to locate a good gym spot. Yeah, because that's my like place where I can decompress, right?
There you
So
go.
it's important to know like they have it. And then if they don't, like, what can I do? Because there was a period where I think I couldn't find anything in
Hmm
Okinawa. So I did a lot of online yoga classes.
Mm.
Yeah. So being prepared of, like you say, what's your modality? For me, the modality is exercise and
hmm
making sure that there is that place for you when you move to a different place.
Right.
Yeah. Don't
Have
wait.
you have you done exhibitions in Singapore?
Actually, very good question. No.
Oh, you
We
need
have
to
to
start
highlight
one.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I would love to. So, yeah, if you know anyone and if anyone love to um
Collab with you.
yeah, connect with me.
Awesome. So hopefully after this session with you, our listeners will like connect the dots, dot, 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 and then get in
Yeah.
touch with you. That would
Mhm.
be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Actually, it'd be awesome to have a exhibition because I did it in Kuala Lumpur.
Ah,
In Kuala Lumpur, I did it at KLPAC, which is a Kuala Lumpur Performing Arts Center. That was my first art exhibition. But no, yeah, haven't in Singapore.
About time. So
Yeah.
how do you pick up painting? Have you always been the artistic type?
I think it's in the blood.
Oh, really? Tell
So
us.
my dad sketches a lot. Like
Uh-huh.
he sketches nonstop. He sketch at the table. He sketch when we go on a holiday.
Mm.
He and he's just very handy with his hand. I mean, very good with his hands. He build things. And my brother is working at the art gallery in Singapore.
Uh-huh.
He
mm,
also represents Singapore for the Biennales.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my sisters both are, creative. So
nice.
So
It's in
it's
the
definitely in the
DNA.
DNA. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. The whole family.
awesome.
So does any of your children pick up that DNA?
I think they are. If they are not showing it, they are. How do you say? They appreciate art.
Mm.
Mm,
They see things in a very. They have good aesthetic values.
Mm.
there you go.
But Tiernan draws well. Johan likes likes drawing and is quite good at it. So, but I'm not a. They need to find their own
Voice.
passion. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you do to care for yourself, like your emotional, your mental being, your well-being in the midst of all of this transition? What do you do
For
besides
me,
exercise?
yeah,
There you
besides
go.
exercise is making a list. Then I can actually visually see what my priorities are, right? And actually, when you look at the list is so long, and there's only certain things that you can
Hmm
do. right? Within
Yeah.
a day, for example. So when I get overwhelmed, making a list definitely is to go for me.
I can relate to you on that level because makes me feel good once I start crossing things out and I'm like,
Yeah,
yay, I achieved
yeah,
5 out of 200, but yay.
yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
One of
Sometimes you're
the
doing so much, but at the same time, you feel like, oh my God, what did I do? When someone asks you, like at the end of the day, like, what did you do today? You cannot answer, right? Because it's like
mm,
Mm,
you just some of it up, just routine.
mm,
mhm,
But
mhm.
making a list definitely helps me.
So what's next for you and your family?
What's next is I'm looking forward. My son who's in Singapore is flying to London, and
Nice.
we are going to fly to London to meet the other son. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, we are having a good time chit-chatting, but we are
Mhm.
also cl coming close to our time. Um, one last question from
Yeah.
me. With you being the cheerleader to the boys, to your family, moving and having a list, and then also you taking care of yourself, what kind of advice, what sort of advice would you have to women out there who are about to start their journey, maybe for career development, for family, for self? What would be your motivation speech for them as they prepare their
Mm.
journey?
I feel like networking before and during and after the move, like it helps
Yeah.
being authentic to yourself, not to cater to,
Hmm.
oh, this group like this, so I should like this. Like you will end up with people you don't like to be with,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So that would be my advice. I mean, I think when you're true to yourself, then you're not selling yourself short.
That's
So
true.
that is true. Very good advice. Networking becomes it's kind of like a common theme with a lot of our interviewees or our guests, which
Yeah.
is you have to put yourself out there to a degree when you're
yeah,
in the new place, whether it be with the local community or
Yeah.
your own community. But that is so important. Do not isolate yourself, ladies, if you are
That's right.
listening to this. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
right.
no, yeah.
Well, sounds good. I appreciate Shaida for you to join us. I know this is a very different kind of podcast, but I hope your stories will be a motivational one for our listeners out there. And we'll
Mhm.
definitely add the link to your website when we post this out. And Farah, do you have any closing speech that you'd like to do?
Well, first, thank you, Shahida, for coming on. We appreciate it very, very much. If today's episode hits home in it, please subscribe, leave a quick review, or share it with someone who might need to hear it. That's how we keep growing the space and
Mhm.
connecting with more amazing women on their journeys. And here at T Transitions, all voices matters and every story counts. So wherever you are right now, we are cheering you on. Till the next time, be true to yourself and keep supporting you.
Enjoy
Thank
your
you, Rose.
day.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Farah.
much. Take care. We'll see you again.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.